Welcome back to episode 5 of the Weightlifting.Ai attempt 2. In this workout I did a lot of movements that I just did not like to do. So I had a snatch complex of power position snatch plus hang snatch, and then I had a complex with a clean and jerk of power position clean plus 2 pause jerks. Now hang snatches I don't particularly like, but I don't necessarily mind doing them. They're just not like, I wouldn't ever choose or be excited about doing them, but I've gotten better at them and I can do them fine. Same with pause jerks. I don't really have a negative feeling towards them. It's a good kind of technical lift. I don't think it's as beneficial to go super heavy on them because what I find is that I just tend to cheat the movement, and I see a lot of people who do what they call pause jerks and they're not really pause jerks. They're just hesitant jerks, I guess. They pause and then rebend with it, because the idea of a pause in any variation is that you're taking out the stretch reflex. So when I see people pause and then use a stretch reflex to do the lift, it kind of defeats the purpose. So you're just doing kind of a bad jerk. But when it's light, you can kind of force yourself to not use the stretch reflex, because even with myself, as I get heavier, it's just kind of natural to try to get more oomph onto the bar. But anyhow, the reason I don't like the power position snatch and the power position clean, the other two parts of those movements, the ones that I talked about, the other parts I talked about not minding, those are the parts I do mind, the power position snatch and the clean, for much of the same reason. And that reason is that I just don't feel very natural in that position. It feels like I'm fighting to be doing the movement correctly and not trying to improve my movement quality. So what I mean by that is that the idea, or at least how I view when I see demonstrations of the movement, is that you're trying to keep your torso vertical and you're trying to dip down with your legs and just bend down a little bit and then extend up, and not trying to use your torso moving forward at all. That's naturally it's going to be a difficult thing for me to do just because I'm so posterior chain dominant, but it's also one that just feels extremely unnatural, more so in the power position clean than in the snatch. But really I kind of have a similar feeling to where when I'm doing it wrong, it's more just like a high hang snatch or a high hang clean. But I can't really, for the snatches I was kind of able to do it, and then for the cleans I kind of really wasn't able to, even though the weights were pretty light. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just fighting the movement, or fighting to do the quote unquote movement correctly, when it's not really carrying over, or not. I just don't really feel like it would carry over to the main movements. Maybe it will, maybe I'll just start moving fantastic, but I feel like when I'm fighting to not do any part of the lift more correctly, but just trying to follow the rules of the complex, that I'm not going to get as much out of it. When I'm doing a movement like a hang snatch, since that was part of it as well, I feel like I'm following more so the idea of what I'm trying to do correct in the complex, or in the actual full snatch. So I'm trying to keep the bar close, I'm trying to extend the bar correctly behind my head and trying to catch it in a strong position. When I'm doing a power position snatch, I feel like I'm trying to whip the bar off my legs and to get it up into that same correct position. So you're trying to do the movement a little bit, but I feel like the whole it's almost like I'm trying to use a stretch reflex to kind of bounce it off myself, and I don't know, it just feels really awkward. And with the power position clean, I don't know what I'm doing on that. And so for most days I'll probably end up substituting those out for different movements. The obvious first movement to substitute them for would be the hang snatch above the knee, or the hang clean above the knee, which historically is what I have done when those have been programmed and I haven't wanted to do them. And whether I've done it on purpose or I just didn't really know how to do the power position lifts, I just kind of always done high hang versions of those lifts. And I think I'd get a similar effect to what is wanted by those. The first is kind of limiting the weights that you're going to do. If I'm doing a high hang snatch, I'm not going to be doing 135 kilos with that. I might be able to get up pretty heavy with that, but I'm not doing anything that's going to be absurd. And a lot of these days with these power position lifts, the weights have been pretty light. I don't know if they'll progress and get heavier. It's not really something I'm worried about, because like I said, I'm probably just going to swap them out most of the time. But yeah, they just feel really awkward. So I did force myself to do them on this day, and just tried to, because there were so many singles on this day, or I guess so many sets of these complexes, I was just hoping that they would feel better as I was going. And to be honest, the snatches did feel a little bit better as I was moving through the workout, and the app did actually move me up a little bit from, I think it started at 80 kilos and moved me up to 84 and then ended at 87, and by the end they were feeling okay. So I don't want to say I'll never do the power position snatches again, but I certainly, wasn't enjoying doing them. The hang snatches were fine, and I don't mind doing those. But the power position cleans, just the whole time I was trying to keep my torso more upright, and I felt like I was just only using my back and upper body extension to get the bar to be in that proper position, and I wasn't really able to rebend my legs to get it. And I don't know, it to me, at this point in my lifting career, it's not really worth the time in my eyes to spend a lot of time learning these random complexes like this when I could just do something that I already know how to do and get more beneficial work, because I'm able to focus and try harder at the lifts. I'm not trying to learn a new lift, I'm just focused on the complexes that I already kind of know. And honestly, a high hang clean or something is going to be pretty similar to a power position lift. And when I see the demonstrations, I think in the app they use the British lifter, I forget her name, but she has super short arms, almost like a T-Rex, and her snatches just look hilarious because her arms are so short. They look like she's going to do a clean with all of her lifts. But when she's doing the power position cleans, the bar is in her hip, and when I'm holding the bar I would for a clean at the top, where at the top of a deadlift, it's just not in my hip crease. And I think for a lot of people that's the case. So I don't think that it's probably for her it's probably a fine lift, because it's in a normal position and she can kind of use the whip of the bar to do the lift. But for me, it's I'm just fighting to keep my torso upright and try to figure out how to even exert force in a position like that, when honestly in the clean, I don't really have that much of an issue with top weights. Most of the issues that I have are with the upper body stability and jerks and stuff like that. And same is kind of true of snatches. I can extend hard enough, I can get under a weight enough, but I just don't put it in the right position or don't catch it in the right position. And obviously lifts from the hang and stuff will be able to help with the positioning and stuff like that, but I don't think it's going to be the power position snatch or the power position clean isn't going to be the game changer for me versus doing stuff like hang snatches and hang cleans and no foot lifts and stuff like that. So to me, it's when you are getting new lifts and stuff, I think it's important to try them and to figure out if you can push them up and to get better at them. But kind of at this point in my lifting career, I've tried power position lifts before. I've tried to push them up before, and they usually don't, and it's just not really worth it. But I don't know, I feel like I spent a lot of this video complaining for a workout that actually went pretty well, so I do apologize for that. And if you made it this far, I do appreciate that. I've tried to record this audio a couple times. I'm just gonna stick with this one, and we're just gonna go with this. But like I said, it was a pretty good workout. I'm just mostly don't like the power position lift, so I'll probably sub them out for most of the workouts. But that's it for now. Thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Peace.